So students, already we have discussed transcription, post-transcriptional processing. Now it is the time that RNA has been already been formed. Now it is the time to how this RNA is going to form the protein. Now we will discuss that how this RNA is going to form the protein. Now while we discuss that, so we must think that the information of RNA will be coded and will form protein. So there must be a correlation between the proteins, or basically the amino acids, and the information which is there in the RNA. And we know that information, which part of the RNA is the actually containing the information? It is the nitrogen bases, that is adenine, cytosine, uracil, guanine. These are the nitrogen bases. Specific sequence of these nitrogen bases are actually carrying the information. So there must be a correlation between these nitrogen bases and the amino acids. Today we are going to discuss that only, the genetic code, particularly what is the relation between these nitrogen bases and the amino acid. Now students, we know that there are four types of nucleotides. If we consider DNA or we consider RNA, there are basically four types of nucleotides. In DNA it is adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. In RNA it is adenine, cytosine, guanine and uracil. So four types of nucleotides are there and 20 amino acids are there. So to link up with the nucleotides and amino acids, it is thought that there must be certain permutation combinations, clear, which will help in formation of the code. Now, so at first two nucleotides are taken at a time and for an amino acid, but it was found that if we take two at a time, two nucleotide at a time, that means four types of nucleotide, if we by permutation and combination will form 16 forms of codon. Clear, but we have 20 types of amino acids. So it is not sufficient for the 16 forms of codon to code for 20 amino acids. So later on, 3 nucleotides were taken in one genetic code, that means which is coding for an amino acid, and thus we are getting 64 codons. So 64 codons we are getting, which are coding for various amino acids. So next is how we came to know about the various codons. So it is not that only it is an overnight process. So lots of researches has been done, and now we came to know about the proper specific codons and how they are linked to the amino acid. So we can see here G. Gamow, clear, he was the first to deduce that 64 three nucleotides in sequence will used to be as a codon, and thus 64 codons and forms, clear, by the permutation combination of these four nucleotides which are present in DNA, or we can tell it in mRNA. Next is Hargobind Khorana. Dr. Hargobind Khorana also chemically synthesized the RNA. Clear, he found the chemical means to synthesize RNA. And then Nirenberg, he actually artificially synthesized protein to correlate with the relation between this RNA and the amino acids. Clear? So he synthesized proteins to see that how these codons, clear, how these codons are related to the proteins or amino acid. And last, Cocoa, he actually produced template independent RNA. Clear? So by polynucleotide phosphorylase, he produced template independent RNA. Clear? He polymerized template independent RNA, that is without DNA template, he polymerized RNA. So these are the historical events which went on for deducing the genetic code. students, here you can see the genetic code. So these are the 64 codons. Clear? These are the 64 codons. Now you can see here there are 64 codons, and but it is not that all 64 codons are coding for amino acids. Clear? Now you can see here, this is the one of the stop. These are the stop codons. Clear? These are not coding for amino acid. These are the stop codons, and others, these are coding, like this one is coding for phenylalanine, this is coding for leucine. So there are various codons are there which are coding, numerous codons. You can see here numerous coding for a single amino acid. 3 codons are there which are the stop codons. Clear? Which where the protein synthesis or the formation of polypeptide will stop. When this codon will come, the formation of polypeptide will stop, and these are the codons which are used for the formation of polypeptides. And there is a start codon AUG. This start codon AUG is not only start codon, it also codes for the methionine. So whenever we have to start, it is generally AUG. Rarely GUG is also acts as a start codon, but AUG is the most cases. AUG is the start codon. Now, so this is a single part has been elaborated. You can see here, this is here. So 3 nitrogen bases or 3 nucleotides. This is one of the nucleotide. This is another nucleotide, and this is the third nucleotide. So this is the nucleotide which will be in the first position. Clear? This is the nucleotide which will be in the second position, and this is the nucleotide which will be there in the third position. So accordingly we can have this codon. So here this is U is the first position, this U in the second position, and this U in the third position. So you are getting UUU, which is coding for phenylalanine. Or you can have U in the first position, this U in the second position, and this C in the third position. So you are getting UUC, which is also coding for phenylalanine. So likewise codes are formed. Now next we will go for the various characteristics of codon. Now what are the characteristics of codon? Now first of all, there are 64 codons, and codons are triplet. So first of all, the codons are triplet. Clear? That means all codon contains 3 nucleotides. So this is called codons are triplets, and total there are 64 codons, of which 61 codes for particular amino acid, but rest 3 are the stop codon which does not have any amino acid to code. This actually gives the stop signal for the protein synthesis. Next is the codons are universal. So codons are universal. These codons are generally, suppose UUU will code for phenylalanine, except certain mitochondria and certain protozoa. In everywhere if we find these UUU, they will always code for phenylalanine. So it is called universal. Codon is universal. Or UUC, it will code for phenylalanine. Or you can say UUE, it's coding for leucine. So this is universal. Exception is obviously there. It is in certain mitochondria and certain protozoa. Clear? The certain exceptions are there, but otherwise it is more or less universal. Next is codons are unambiguous. That means specific codons are there for leucine. Suppose leucine will be coded by UUA. Clear? So UUA will never code for any other amino acid apart from leucine. So that is why it is called unambiguous or specific. That means UUU will never code for any other amino acid apart from phenylalanine. So this part is very specific. Clear? UUU, wherever you find, it will code for phenylalanine only. Or UUA, wherever you find, it will code for leucine only. So that part is the codon. This is the unambiguous, the codons are highly specific for their amino acid. Next is the degenerate, but it is not that amino acids also, this single amino acid coded will have a single codon. Single amino acid may have numerous codons. You can see here phenylalanine can have two codons, UUC. It can have more than two codons also. Clear? So from part of the codon, it is very specific that we code for a particular amino acid only, but for part of amino acid is not so specific. A single amino acid can be coded by various codons, and this characteristic feature of codon is called degenerate. Clear? So this is, codons are degenerate because one amino acid can be coded by various codons. And codons are commaless. There is no, when you were reading a, suppose there are certain, suppose these are arranged in serial order, when the, for protein synthesis for the amino acid, they will be read without any punctuation, without any stop. They will be read sequentially one after another. Clear? And likewise the codons will form. So there is no comma, no punctuation while reading the sequence of the nucleotides. Clear? For forming the codons. And the start codon is AUG. You can see this AUG is the start codon, and it has dual function. It acts as a start codon. Clear? Wherever the polypeptide synthesis has to be start, it starts with AUG, and it also codes for an amino acid called methionine. So it also codes for an amino acid called methionine. So AUG has dual function. It acts as a start codon. It codes for amino acid methionine. So this is about the codon, which is very important for the next part of our discussion. So another thing which I want to discuss here is the significance of the third nitrogen base. Clear? In the codon. Significance of the third nitrogen base in the codon. Now it is called Ubel base, and it was proposed by Crick that he states that when tRNA anticodon, clear, can Ubel its 5' end by pairing with the uneven complementary, non-complementary, clear, even with the non-complementary base of mRNA codon. So when this tRNA binds with the it cannot bind with this, it does not bind with the complementary bases, still that tRNA can carry that particular amino acid. Clear? So which corresponds to the degeneracy of the third nitrogen base. You can see here UUU, when the third nitrogen base is U, still it is coding for phenylalanine. When third nitrogen base is C, still it is coding for phenylalanine. Clear? So here also the third nitrogen base is only altering, but still they are coding for the same amino acid leucine. Clear? So this so it imparts that third nitrogen base has very little significance. It is not always, but mostly in these cases it has very little significance in coding for a specific amino acid. We can consider the example of glycine, where GG, all these four third nitrogen bases are separate, but all are coding for glycine, like GGA, GGU, GGC, GGG, all are coding for glycine. So here every codon has a separate third nitrogen base, but they are all coding for a single amino acid glycine. So gradually we can tell that the third nitrogen base has very less significance as a codon or coding for a specific amino acid. But why this has happened, and what is the advantage of having degeneracy. So this third nitrogen base is called Ubel base. Now what is the significance or what is the advantage of having this Ubel base? It is that comparatively lesser tRNA is required for carrying the amino acids. Clear? So comparatively lesser tRNA are essential for carrying the specific amino acids. So that is this third nitrogen base is called Ubel base, and it is very less significant as compared to first and second nitrogen base in a genetic code.